I know what you're thinking. Those are fake. Well, no. They're real and they're spectacular. What's up, friends? It's your boy JoJo coming at you again. But this time we're doing things a little differently today. Before other videos, I never mentioned what I do for a living. My job takes up my time, takes up my everything. Takes up my life, and but it's allowed me to do so many things, travel the world, country. Well, I'm a photojournalist, a news photographer for a local affiliate. And yesterday, or this past weekend, I was recognized with 2 Emmy Awards. Yes, those Emmy Awards. There's a Hollywood chapter, and then there's a state each has a chapter, but they're the real deal, real Emmys. I got it for a couple of stories that I did, highlighting arts and entertainment, where we featured different artists and their crafts. I was honored as a photojournalist and as an editor for one, and the other one as an editor alone for a tribute special for a national, or for actually an internationally renowned television host on the Spanish stations. But yeah, that's I'm completely stunned. I still am on cloud. A friend of mine asked me today how I felt, and I told her, I'm on cloud 8 because yesterday I was on cloud 9, slowly coming back down to earth. But I'm stunned, and like I said, I work hard. And I'm proud of the work that I do, because the work that I do represents who I am. But not just that, it represents the team and the station that I work for. And there's a lot to be said about hard work. Not that it reaps rewards or that you reap rewards or whatever, but it tells people who you are. It tells people that you're a person, to be respected as a professional, as a human being. I've been in this business for almost 20 years. So I was like a young pup out of college. I was very fortunate to be in this business. As a photojournalist, and and I'm not just that. A photographer, an editor. I'm a newsman. Producer, director, translator. And all of those, I wear different hats, and I'm good at what I do. I'm proud of what I do, and again, I'm so happy that I got recognized for doing such things. I've been privileged to be doing this kind of work. But it's funny, because like I said, and this is where I'm going to start tying things into the comics, comic books. Like I told you before, I love Spider-Man. I love the Amazing Spider-Man. But Spider-Man and Peter Parker. I said Spider-Man in my first video that I said, my best friend. Best friend. And it's funny how, Peter Parker is a photographer and goes and takes pictures of the news and of himself, Only I don't take pictures of myself. I take pictures of other things, good things, bad things, questionable things. I in the last 20 years, I've seen so many things, and I've done so many things, and heard so many things, and I've shot so many things, that usually I am not easily surprised uh, not easily, you know, like shocked, you know, because that's what this business does to you. You know, it makes you. I mean, you have to have a rough, tough exterior, because there are things out there that, you know, like not every, and I don't want to say normal people, because, you know, of course I'm as normal as they come, but you have to have a strong personality and a strong sense of self and a strong sense of, you know, having a tough skin. You know, not that I'm saying that I'm a tough guy, but you have to be in this business. You know, like every business, it's like a relationship. You know, I have a love-hate relationship with this business. Like I said, relationship. I know. I love what I do. You know, I'm passionate for what I do. You know. Again, I was going off on a tangent again. But, you know, it's like I was saying before, you know, Peter Parker, a photographer. It's funny, you know, you look back at my life and how a lot of how the way he lived and the way certain circumstances almost mirror my life, except for the radioactive spider part and the costume. But anyway, again, you know, like this character has always been there with me every step of the way, and I love him for that. You know, with great power comes great responsibility. I've been saying that to myself even before everybody knew about that phrase. Even before the first Sam Raimi film came out. You know, I'm saying that that's my motto, like him, but it was something that was definitely a phrase that helped me propel and to move forward from very difficult things that have happened in my life, be it family, relationships, life. But anyway, again, going off on a tangent. But these two Emmys, you know, very proud, very, very proud, because you know, signifies excellence. You know, signifies. You know, signifies and people that recognizes, you know, people recognize the work that you do, that the chops that you have are up to snuff, or even more so. Hmm? I'm so proud. I'm happy, and I'm glad that this happened. Now you're probably thinking about, well, why does he have that book in the back? Well, for a variety of reasons. You know, again, it's a comic book haul, video, whatever. You know, want to do things a little different. But, you know, I always thought that the Dark Knight Returns was a symbol of breaking barriers, a symbol of this medium coming to a spotlight, right? Coming to attention to the world, saying that, hey, you know what? We're not just kid books or funny books anymore. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that this art form and this medium has become, or has taken the next step in the evolutionary process. It's grown. It's become something to be taken seriously, you know. And I that's why I picked that book. You know, and this book, I have a lot of history with it. It's a beautiful leather-bound book. Each page is, I know it's not silver, but it's you know, it's got like the silver lining on the pages, and you know, and it's got 3 stories. It has Batman Year One, you know, which all of us are very familiar with. Another one called Wanted Santa Claus, Dead or Alive, and of course, Frank Miller's ultimate masterpiece, The Dark Knight Returns. Often imitated, but never, you know, nobody has ever come close to matching the magnificence of this beautiful story, this beautiful work of art, you know, and the message that it has. And I love this story. I've read it so many times. But on a side note, on a tangent, I've had this book for almost over 20 years, maybe even more. But I have a history with this book. When it first came out, it was very expensive. I think it was like $100, maybe a little bit more. So never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that I was going to get it, at that moment, at that time, when I was a kid. I used to go to a mall, with my family on the north side of town. And at that time, there were a lot of different bookstores, tiny bookstores, Walden Books, B. Dalton. There weren't any Barnes and Nobles or whatever at that time. Just little newsstands, stuff like that. But every time we went to this mall, I would always go there. Walden Books, tiny, it's a tiny store. Just like had so many current magazines and periodicals and new release books and stuff. And this one was there. And I'm going to say this one because I can almost guarantee you that it was this one. But it had a price of $100, if I remember. And I was a kid, like 10 or 11, 12 at that time. I held it in my hands, and it was covered in a plastic bag, then sealed with another plastic. And I couldn't put it down. It was just a work that I knew that existed, and I had read the story before. I had read it there. I read comics and I read books like this there while my parents shopped, and I would hide in a corner or between the rows of books. I would sit down and start reading, and I felt like I was stealing. I mean, technically, if you were to see it, I think you could almost say that. But it was like a thrill, and I would do that in a lot of stores, That's why I read a lot of the runs on Star Wars and Spidey and this one, and I was just amazed at the story of this story, where many years, Batman was saving the day and helping and whatever, then boom, he was gone. 10 years have passed and nobody knew what had happened to the Batman. Bad things have happened here and there. Where is he? 10 years later, he appears. Why does he appear? Joker's back. Time to get to work. But the whole thing about the mind and the body and the heart is that the mind and the heart are willing, but the body is not. It's weak. You see that. You see that struggle that this guy goes through. Incredible story. A masterpiece by Mr. Frank Miller. Oh man. But anyway, back to my story about this book. I regard this book in high esteem, So I reluctantly put it back, because I wouldn't even ask my parents to give me $100 for this book. Because I already know what the reaction was going to be, and I already know what the answer was going to be. A red flaring no. And of course, but $100. So anyway, a month or two go by, Go back again to Walden Books. This book is there. But this time, it's $90. Remember them crossing out the 100 with a red pen, and they put $90 on it. And I looked at it, and I go, my God, really? $90? But again, I had nothing near that. And I wasn't going to ask my parents, because I already know what the answer was going to be. A red flaring no. Again, weeks go by, months, and there I go. I go back into Walden Books again, and this sucker is still there. And this time it says $60. Before it was an impossibility, but it has become not only a possibility, but a probability. You know what I'm saying? So, should I ask? $60? It's a little bit more feasible, right? But still, in my heart and my soul, I can't. And it went on like that. Another few months, the price came down. 60 to 50 to 40. And, for a while, we stopped going, I never even gave it a second thought, The only times I would think about this book was when I was actually at the mall. Actually at the store, when it was right in front of me. I would look at it, caressing it, loving it. As if I was in a conjugal visit. Well, this time around, we hadn't gone back in a while. Maybe 6 months, maybe even a year. So, we go there. A lot of time has passed, And I go back, I go there, and I go, at that price, it's probably come down or whatever. And, even at that price, at 60 or 50 or whatever, 40, somebody had to have snatched it up, man. Somebody had to have snatched it up. I go in. And for a while, I look for it, and I can't find it. My heart broke, My heart broke, and it sank to my stomach, But at the same time, I had to tell myself that I had to be a little mature, That things in life come and they go, And I know it's just a book. I know. But I wanted it. I really did. Well, as I start going outside, or I start leaving the place, I didn't see that they had like one of those bookshelves on wheels close to the entrance. And something caught my eye as I was leaving. And again, before I said it was like in a bag, in a plastic bag. And inside the bag was still sealed. And for lack of a better phrase or term, lo and behold, I saw it, and it's there. And again, it had that red mark, but this time it said $9.99. I almost fell to my knees, not for thanking God or in prayer, but in disbelief, because that's exactly what I had. $10. And asking my parents for tax. Well, I'm more than sure that wasn't going to be a problem. So I got it. And I was ecstatic, giddy, that I couldn't wait to rip it open and devour it with my eyes and with my mind. And enjoy this story again that this book, held between its covers. That this book and this story was finally mine, that I can call mine. Beautiful, black, leather bound. And they have the Joker one too. It's purple. It's almost exactly the same thing, but it's purple, leather bound too. Today I want it, right? If I can find it, if you can find it. But this was the dream, this one. And I had a connection with it, Even up until this time, I took care of it, I treated it with the respect that it deserves, And the mastery, the majesty of the art and the story of Mr. Frank Miller, The Dark Knight Returns. So, you're probably asking, well, what does one have to do with the other or whatever? Well, excellence, my friends. Excellence in what one achieves with their work and with their creativity, with their imagination, with their resourcefulness, with their ingenuity, but most importantly, with that work ethic. I highly believe in the work ethic. My father instilled that in me. God bless him. Rest in peace, Papa. I wish you were there to see this. But it says everything. And that with hard work, anything is possible. Anything. Very proud. Proud of what I had accomplished. But also, when a person accomplishes something like this, it's like you throwing a rock into a river, and with those ripples, they extend out forever. Well, as I was saying before, about the ripple effect and how it affects people and how people look at you, and and those things are great because you inspire, you inspire people to do more and to be more, and wherever you grow up in, whatever, people will look at that, people will see that, and people will take that into heart, and maybe one day they say, you know what, if he could do it, I could do it too, Oh, incredible. Incredible. I never said that only in my wildest dreams or whatever, But still, it was a great honor. So proud that I have accomplished this. But now, tomorrow, go back to reality. Continue to work hard. Continue to do what I do, and keep moving forward, just like this journey that we're on, my friends. Forward, always forward. Well, I'd like to thank you guys for joining me on this part of my quest or side quest, and sharing this time with me. You let me tell my story, tell you what I do, and thanks, my friends. Thank you for listening. Thank you for all my subscribers out there, my potential subscribers out there. Thank you for listening to me and for watching this. So, Batman, Michael Keaton, the first Batman, said, the Joker's out there. He's out there, and I gotta get to work. Well, here we go. Stay tuned, my friends. More to come. Stay hungry. Keep hunting. But most importantly, be a hero to everyone.